Hello, I'm going to go ahead and do my discussion of how learning theories are applied to distance education. For time's sake, I'm going to only talk about three learning theories. I'm going to talk about behavioral learning theory, I'm going to talk about the schema theory, and Gagne's theory of instruction. I'm going to explain what these are, summarize what the theories are and what they mean, and then how they would be used in a distance education platform. The first theory I'm going to discuss is the behavioral learning theory. And the idea behind this theory is that you want to observe the behavior that you want your students to learn or know before you teach it on the online educational database, and afterwards, to see, did your student or students learn what they need to, what you want them to. Now, because I'm a teacher, I'm going to use the example of writing an essay, specifically teaching grammar, okay? Because I am a 4th grade teacher and I see this all the time. Now, I would actually have my students write a 5-paragraph essay and submit it online so that I can go ahead and look at all the grammatical errors that they made. Then I would teach them how to write an essay grammatically correct by showing them examples, having them practice, having them maybe edit some essays, having them edit their own, having them write maybe a paragraph and editing their own paragraph so to make sure it's grammatically correct. Having them watch videos on people writing essays. Maybe watching videos of people discussing how to write an essay and making sure, going over all the grammatical rules too, actually, because sometimes, or a lot of times, students don't even know the grammatical rules. They forget. And that's just the way they forget from 3rd to 4th to 4th to 5th. So maybe even having videos posted on this educational platform of the grammatical rules, having them practice the skills, and then also editing other people's essays to fix them, to make sure they're grammatically correct. And then at the end, having the summative assessment of them actually writing a 5-paragraph essay that is grammatically correct. And that will tell me, did my students learn what I wanted them to learn, which was to write a 5-paragraph essay with no grammatical errors. And that pretty much sums up how I would use behavioral learning theory on an online educational database. The second theory I'm going to discuss is schema theory. And so the idea behind this is that learners use prior knowledge, also known as existing schemas, existing information they already have stored in their brain, and to interpret and to better understand new information. So to me, what this means is that I really want to figure out, or really not even figure out, tap into my students' existing schemas about the topic I'm going to teach. Now, a good example for me that I'm going to use, and a good example I think, would be something like maybe the civil rights movement, okay? If I'm teaching a group of students about maybe Rosa Parks, okay? Just throwing that out, Rosa Parks. I may want to find out what my students already know about the civil rights movement to help tap into their existing schemas to figure out what they know already and to help them take the new information they're about to learn and link it to what they already know. So maybe I would have them write down for me a summary of everything they know about the civil rights movement, important people, different protests that they know that happened, different important dates that they know of, anything they can think of. And then use that information to teach them the new information I want them to store into their brain. So maybe I'd show them videos. I would have them research different things on the civil rights movement. Have them read different literature, watch different news sources from back during the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. Maybe read bibliographies on different people that were important in the civil rights to see what they went through. And that will help them learn what I want them to learn, but again, also help them attach that new information to what they already know, those existing schemas, because now I've already tapped into that existing information, into their prior knowledge to help link it. And that's basically the idea behind schema theory, is tap into your learners, your students' prior knowledge, their existing knowledge on a topic, to teach them new information. All right, the last theory I'm going to talk about is the Gagne's theory of instruction. So basically, his theory is that there's a taxonomy of learning outcomes from internal to external, and that there's a few different things that you should do in order to guarantee or have a better outcome that your students are learning the information. So here are the steps. The first thing you want to do is gain their attention. So essentially a hook, if you will, to really grab them. It could be a video, on or maybe a controversial discussion board, something of that sort to really gain their attention. Then you want to inform the learner of the objective. Tell them what they are going to be able to do at the end of the unit. Then you want to stimulate recall prior knowledge learning. So you want to figure out what do they already know, and you want them to tap again, like I said earlier, tap into that prior knowledge. You could maybe do a survey to see what they know about the topic or the content that you'll be teaching. What do they know about the objective? Present the activity or info that presents the content to be learned. Then you're going to give opportunity for them to practice the objective. You want them to perform what is to be learned. Then you want to do formative assessments, not just one, probably several. You want them to do several formative assessments, maybe different questionnaires throughout the unit, maybe different activities, different assignments throughout your own learning database, and then to give feedback so that they can improve in order to get to where you want them to be at the end of the lesson, at the end of the unit or the class, whatever it is, the course. Of course, then you're going to assess the performance with a summative assessment, giving them a bigger project for them to prove that they have actually learned the objective. Then if you really want to take it a step further, you may have them have maybe create something or analyze something to prove that they are able to enhance the retention of what they have learned.